Today we are sharing our February budget, how we allocate our combined salary, and what we are prioritizing, and how no spend January helped us close our December gap. Hi budgeting moms, welcome back to my channel. Join me as I take you through our February budget. Please keep in mind that budgeting and this channel is for everybody at all income levels. I started my first job earning 2,800 Rand. And I was using store cards and credit cards just to cover the gap in the month. Then when I graduated and got my first graduate job, I was earning about 8,000 Rand. Still not enough to cover my needs as a mom to one, paying for school fees, paying for crèche fees, paying for food, petrol, and all of that. It was really difficult. So my credit card just went out of control, my store cards, personal loans, and I was really, really struggling. So then I started my journey on personal finances. I went to a seminar that was talking about personal finances, and I started to do a lot of courses on personal finances. And mind you, I studied business finance, and I also started to ask myself, why can't I apply the same principles that I apply at work to my personal finances? And so I started applying those principles that I had studied, because I studied financial management. And we then paid off our debt. We downsized our home. We moved from Motskloof to a different area. And we really just started making the right decisions, scaling down our expenses so we can scale up our income. We sold some of our cars and replaced them with pre-loved cars. So that's my story. I've lived the journey. What I'm doing here, taking you through my budget, it's really out of my experience and what I've gone through, but also borrowing my experience as a financial manager, as a financial controller. So I really hope you find it useful. And then what I'm really going to try to do more and more is to give practical examples of things that we can do. And today I'm mainly just introducing the budget part. We will talk about actuals, but we'll also dig more into the details in different videos of the budget in terms of our investment, look into details there in terms of savings, paying off debt. So it's really to give you practical tools to go out there and use them, and also get feedback from what you're using. I really believe in learning from best practices. So don't live alone as an island. Learn from best practices. I'm always consuming information and really just taking from what works. But I think what's really important for me in this channel is that this channel is for all income levels. It's for moms at all income levels, because like I said, imagine that I started on 2,800 Rand, and that's the time I actually needed the foundation of finances, staying out of debt, saving for emergencies, investing, and creating a legacy and creating financial wealth. So let's get started on the February budget. So before we get started budgeting, moms, please remember that you would need to do the budget in advance before month end or before your payday, so that when it gets to your payday, you are just implementing. You already know what you need to do. So do your budget in advance before month end. And then the other thing is, remember that everybody is at a different season on the financial journey, so budgets will not look the same. And I've been through various seasons also of my financial journey. And I can recall two specific ones where I went through a debt payment journey to become debt free, and our budget looked totally different then. And then we went through a building foundations and stability season, and then our budget looked different then. Now we are getting into a different season, which we call creating capability and accelerating growth. So we also trying to change our budget to align with where we're trying to go. So if your budget looks different, your budget should actually look different to align with the season where you are, to speak to your priorities at the specific moment. With all of that said, let's get straight to the budget. So let's get started with this month's budget. So you will see what we have here, our cash balances. And then we are starting off with 0 cash amount on the check account, and then 0 cash amount on our shared account. Roll over from this month or from last month is 0. Like we said, we're starting on 0. Net income is 81,000. Joint income is 81,000. Fixed expenses is 35,800. Variable expenses is 23,000. Savings is 4,000. Investments is 5,600. It's 5,763. And debts is 13,100, with the balance of or remaining amount of negative 783. So we are going to be overspending for the month of January by almost 800 Rand. Also, to mention, our income is variable, and January is usually our lowest income month. And also for this year, that is true. We've had one of our lowest income in January. So it does make it very hard to work around the budget, but we make it work. So basically, this is really just an overview of what our finances for the month of Jan looks like. And then I just normally like to see what percentage my expenses are, variable expenses, savings and investments, and I like to keep that around 15%. But like I said, because we've had a low income month, we are looking at about 12% for those two. And then I'm just gonna quickly and then when it comes to income, I've already explained that our joint income, which is variable, is 81,000, but I'm not going to give the breakdown here. And then when it comes to our fixed expenses, we have utilities at 2,700. We've got education at 19,380. Education for us is an investment into our children's future, and it falls under creating capability for our future and creating a legacy. So we are highly invested in the children's education. And then we've got the house manager at 4,200. She did start off as a nanny to the kids, but with the kids all having gone to school now, her role did change around the house to more of a house manager role. And then we've got cell phone and data at 3,750. We've got insurance at 3,244. We've got subscriptions at 1,794. Also, like I said, with subscriptions, it has to do a lot with our businesses. So it does form part of creating capability. And then we've got bank charges at 786. And if I haven't been clear, this is our joint household budget and then joint household income. We have fully integrated our finances. And then we've got variable expenses where we've got groceries at 7,000. Because we have a lower income this month, we've had to reduce what we are spending for our groceries, and basically we'll just make a plan. And then here we've got transportation. So this is just basically petrol monies, and also then transport for the kids. And then we've got gift and giving. And if I should really give you really good advice, is that for tithes and offering, do that as part of, reduce that as part of income. So when you talk about net income, it's after tithes and offering, so that you only speak and budget with money that you have at hand. So gifts and giving, because we are having a tight month, that's on 600 Rand. And then we have nothing for eating out. We have nothing for fun, and I've duplicated eating out. And then for pocket money, we also have nothing. And this is where I need to highlight. So like I said, we've got a low income month, which means we have to make sacrifices elsewhere. And that's the buckets where we've made sacrifices: eating out, fun money, and then pocket money. Also, then we have self-care, and then we also have medical expenses, and we have miscellaneous, and then back to school, because there's still a few books that we need to be purchasing. And then if I go down on my budget here, in terms of emergency fund, we have 3,000 Rand. And then for the car fund, we've got 0 for the month. And then vacation, it's also going to be 0. And then back to school for 2027, that's also 0 this month. And then home purchases, that's 0. Birthdays, that's 0. Christmas season, that's 0. And then employee bonus for end of the year, that's 400 Rand. And then kids pocket money, that is 600 Rand. In investments, we have retirement at 4,763, education at 2,134, tax-free at 1,000. For credit card, we have 0. We currently are not owing anything on our credit card. And actually, what we did is, as part of No Spend January, I saved enough money to sort of settle most of the credit card. And then I've actually gone so far as to reduce I'm also going so far. I actually want to reduce my balance for my credit card, because debt is very dangerous, because it's like a cycle. You keep cycling in and out. Even when you are really good with money, you just keep cycling in and out of debt. So for that very reason, I've decided to take down my balance for my credit card. If I can advise you on one thing, some things just don't wait, just implement them. So I am gonna take my balance down for my credit card. Okay, so now let's move on to our debt. Under debt, we have our home loan at 12,000, and then we also have a store card at 1,000. Even though we don't really do debt, I do store cards, in a sense where if I buy something in December and I know that I'm going to pay it off in Jan. But if I know that's not possible, then I just don't make the purchase. So I spent this 1,000 in December, and I'm just now paying it back. So that is basically just in terms of the budget. I will do a different video showing you how the actual expenditure has gone for the month and how everything fits in. I really hope you get inspired to budget and also realize that budget doesn't have to be stressful. It can be fun. You need to make it fun. You need to make it about challenging yourselves. You need to make it about achieving your goals. You need to make it about think of the end picture. I mean, we're gonna have like eating out, fun money and pocket money shows that we're gonna have it tough also for the month of Feb, but we're gonna soldier on. And we also have the option of trying to optimize like from groceries. That's basically our budget